Hello, my friends. My name is DadCraft73, and welcome back to another episode of One Man, One Mod, where we're trying to learn everything that we can about Botania. And let me tell you what, we have learned a good bit, that's for sure. We're going to get turned around here and get to work right away. But before I get started, let me just point out the fact that I died right there. Oh man, I was hanging out getting ready to start recording, and I had to take the dog out. You know, if you have a dog, you know all about that. When the dog's got to go, the dog's got to go. And I was just like, oh, I'll just step away from the computer and I'll do what I need to. Now, what you should do if you're playing single player is hit escape like that, right? You hit escape and then it pauses your game. Yeah, I didn't hit escape. I literally just got up from the keyboard and walked away. And then I'm dead. So let's go here. And let's get rid of that. And we'll just forget about that ever happened. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to today, Reba. Reba, this is for you. Because I know you've been waiting. You said I've released like 900 episodes of this series. And I haven't had a tree farm yet. But I've been talking about a tree farm for like 14 years. So today we're going to build it. We're going to get it taken care of. So before we get in here too far, though, we need two items. The first thing we need is a pulse mana spreader. We already know how to make that. It's just a regular mana spreader and a piece of redstone. So not a problem. I went mining a little bit between episodes. Got a little bit of iron, some diamonds, a little bit of lapis I found. By the way, we're going to need some of this too. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that's good. Okay, we need a piece of this. We need a... That'll work. Okay. And then we're just going to go like this, and we're going to make a regular mana spreader. Not like that. You come out of there. This guy goes there. This guy goes here. And then we get a mana spreader, and then we're going to give it a little bit of redstone, and now we have a pulse mana spreader. Perfect. All right, and the other thing we need is one of those mana lens. So we've talked about lenses, right? We have one going up there. By the way, I got this thing fired up, taking care of business. It might be out of mana already. Yeah, it looks like it is. Let me close that and turn that off. How much stone did I get? Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm just out of charcoal up here. Don't worry about that. That'll be fine. We're still grinding out some mana here. We're not even half a pool yet. Yeah, we gotta go a little crazy on our mana production. We'll work on that. Don't worry. Today is all about tree farms and stuff. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is make a mana lens, and we got to use boar. That's what we're going to do. So we need a piston, we need a mana lens, we need a redstone, absolutely. One of these. Okay. So we need to grab some iron. Let's just take all of this. We might as well just convert it all. Why not? We can just throw it all in here. You guys know the deal. We can just heave it in there, and it does its deal. And now we have a bunch. And now I need to find some panes, some glass panes. I'm pretty sure I have some. Yes. Okay, perfect. All right, and now let's start putting together this boar mana lens. So this guy's what we need first. We get one of those. And now we need a piston. How are we doing for, like, raw materials? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. You go in there for now. Okay, like that. And then we're going to need another piece of iron and another piece of redstone. Get a piece of redstone there and some of this right here, and we will now make a piston. Okay, and then we now should be able to make the mana lens bore. We didn't get lapis. Let's grab a little bit of lapis. 1, 2. Okay, and then this, and then this, and then this. Yes. Okay, so let's go put all of our stuff up here in this chest that we've got all the way up here. And we've got to sort of make an area for this farm. And it needs to be, I think we're going to make it like 9 by 9. I think that's the right size. If not, we can always come in and adjust it. We need some of this. We need this in there, that in there. We need that in there. We also need this mana pool in there. Okay. I think that's all the stuff we need. I'm pretty sure. I mean, we might need some other little odds and ends. How much... Yeah, we need a little bit more soul sand. We might have to go dip it into the nether real quick and grab some. But let's get started. What am I running back down here before? So we need to dig out a spot that's like 9 by 9. And I'm going to start it back here. So let's pretend like this is the center. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And now we just need to dig out this area here. And, I mean, you don't have to dig it out. You can just, why not? You can make it whatever block you want to make. It's your game. I'm not telling you how to play. Play how you want to play. Do what you want to do. That's the best thing about Minecraft ever in the whole wide world. Man, if anyone tells you... Here's my deal. Let me just go out on a little bit of a tangent here while we're digging this out. If someone tells you, hey, you're not doing that right. And, you know, as someone who makes YouTube videos where I build things or make things or use mod in Minecraft, a lot of times people are like, hey, man, that's not how you should do that. You should do it a different way. You know what I think? This is what I say to those people in a nice way. Man, it's my game. I'll do it however I want to. Now, it's one thing to say, oh, well, you're not doing it right. It's quite another to be like, hey, there's, you know, maybe there's a better way to do something, right? But, you know, there's no rules. Don't think you have to, like, get put in some kind of mold that says if you don't do it this way, you're doing it wrong and you don't know how to play video games. Man, don't worry about that. You play it however you want to. Set it up however you want to. You know, early in this series, and it wasn't a big deal because obviously we were going to move towards different ways of producing mana and stuff like that. People were like, hey, get out from underneath those endo flames as soon as you can. Don't be doing those endo flames because all you're going to spend is all your time mining up resources and stuff like that. And I mean, there's some validity to that for sure. But you know what? If in your game you just want to use endo flames and you want to have like a big huge field of them and you want to be like skating charcoal into those guys 24 hours a day, man, do it. Why not? Man, just do it. However you want to do it is fine. So, I mean, the cool thing about, especially Botania, right, the resource that is required is mana. There's lots of different ways to make mana. You pick whichever one that you want to pick and do it that way. I'm not going to be mad at you. Don't be mad at yourself. Anyway, all right, so we've got this set up. let me get this area prepared, because there's like a little... you know, like a special little setup that we've got to do up here just to get this thing ready. I'm just going to jump off camera, make sure I've got all my measurements and stuff set up properly, and then I'll bring you back. We're going to throw this thing together. I'll see you in just a second. Alrighty, my friends, we are back. I just need to run down here. I'm not delaying on purpose. I promise. I just need to go down here and empty up my inventory because I want to be able to get these guys. Let me get these. Okay, get some coarse dirt. By the way, alchemy catalyst underneath that, regular dirt, gives you coarse dirt, so you don't have to worry about like looking for gravel and all those different kinds of things if you don't need to. Put all of these in here. How about over here? Got room? Yeah. Put all these parts over here. Like, keep those. We don't need that. We don't need that. That. Or that, I guess. Or that. Yeah. Okay, that should be good enough. All right, perfect. All right, so let's go up here and put together this tree farm. Now, I may have to cut because I want to make sure I get this thing exactly right. I'm following a tutorial by a guy named Taco Mage. And, you know, I looked at a lot of, like, automated tree farms and stuff like that, and I just really liked this one. It was, like, low resources, very early game. You didn't need anything too fancy. You know, everything was, you know, pretty laid back and... it's good to go. Okay, so let's get in here and let's actually just start with redstone. We need comparators. We need the hourglass. We need this. We need this. And we're going to need this. Is that all we need for now? Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, I do need one more piece of redstone, I believe. So let me go grab that quick. Okay, one more. I guess I should have went over the stuff that you need in your inventory. I'll talk about it as we... let's actually do that. Let's do that real quick, just so we know. Right? So there's no question. So let's put this. Yeah? And then, of course, like a building block. Okay. And sapling. Or 2. Okay, so here's what we need to build this tree farm. At least what I think so far. And I don't... oh, and we're going to use this chest as well, right? We'll use that in just a second. So, we need a random carpus Doesn't have to be floating, but I'll tell you why floating is better. We need a munch do. We need a hopper hawk. We need a mana lens set to bore. We need a pulse mana spreader. We need a hovering hourglass. We need some building blocks. We need some saplings of a choice. Now, I'm using birch mainly because I don't really care what the wood is. My plan is to convert most of it into charcoal anyway. But the cool thing about birch is you don't get like apples, right? All you get is birch saplings when the leaves decay, or wood, of course. We need some kind of special dirt, and we're using coarse dirt because you can plant trees on coarse dirt. Works like a dream. We need birch. This is so we need an item frame, and then this is going to be the filter for the item frame. We need soul sand. We actually need 15 pieces. We'll go get some. We need a sticky piston, a redstone torch, some comparators, some redstone, mana pool. Okay, there we go. Now, let's go ahead. Oh, now I have all this stuff in here, and I need it. So I need this. I need this, and I need this, and I need this and this. Okay. All right. First up, before anything else, we're going to take our sticky piston. We're going to place it right there. Okay. So here, oh, by the way, here's the little like dig out shape that you need. This is a 9x9 area. We came down 1, 2, 3 from the edge here, and then in 1 and dug out 6. So 6 by 2 plus 1. So, 4 blocks there. However many blocks there, 3 blocks there. And then we went down at the end of this one and made like a little L shape. So we're going to put some stuff in there. And then we also dug this little channel that goes back here just a little bit. Okay? Yeah, easy mode. All right, so let's go and put this right here. Coarse dirt is going to go right there. All right, and then down in this hole, we're going to put our pulse mana spreader facing straight up. And on that mana spreader, we're going to put our bore lens. Yeah? Okay. Then we're going to take our hovering hourglass, stick it right here, and we're going to bring up a line of redstone. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Just like that. And then we're going to go sleep through the night. This is a good time to pause the video if you are playing along at home. If not, I'll be right back up there in just a second. Okay, so now we've got this block in here, plus my little odds and ends, and now we want to take our comparators, and we're going to take one comparator, we're going to run it this way, we're going to take another comparator, we're going to run it this way, just like that, right? And then we're going to bring redstone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the end of our redstone, and we're going to put a torch right there. So now, this block, because we have the torch activated, is now over top of, yeah, right, over top of this piece of coarse dirt. Okay, you see that? Yeah. And if by chance the redstone torch was off, right, it retracts it. And now you can see the mana spreader sitting in there. And it shouldn't, so the bore lens, what it does, it actually just rips through whatever's in front of it. It just and breaks it. So obviously this is where we're going to build, the tree will grow right here. Whenever we're ready, we'll retract this block, and then there'll just be logs there, right? And the bore lens will go and rip it all out. And then after the timer expires, this will come back out. And then we will automatically plant another sapling right there. So that's how this tree farm is going to work. It's very manual, right? It's based on sort of timing. And remember, our floating hourglasses, the reason we're going to use 15 soul sand is this thing's going to cycle every 15 minutes. So whether a tree or not is grown or not, we're really not acting on the fact that a tree has been grown. There's probably ways we could set it up where that did that if we want to. Like we could use a detector block or something like that. But this will work, right? Sort of low tech, but still good. And this essentially is the base of the design, with one exception. We need to go 1, 2 over here, like so. And we want to put in the ground right here this other coarse dirt. Now let's talk about what the Random Carpus does, because these are they're a little bit confusing. So we put that right there, right? So we have this big window, right? So if you have a floating Random Carpus, the block that this thing is sitting on top of, like right there, is the block that this Random Carpus will try to plant whatever gets dropped near it on a like block. So for example, let's say you had this thing floating, and I'm not sure if you can even do it, but floating on top of like some farmland, okay? And you dropped items beside it, it would try to find any piece of farmland in its range of sort of influence there, and plant that sapling. So, for example, we could test it, right? Let's go get our birch sapling out of here. Get one of these, right? Throw that thing down. I may have to give it some mana. Yeah, no. So it picked up the birch sapling and said, hey, is there any more coarse dirt laying around here? Bang. And it planted it right over there. Okay? And then we're just waiting for this thing to grow. So we do it again, right? We can see what happens. The birch sapling gets replaced, gets planted over there. Okay? So if you haven't been using Rannan Carpuses, Carpus, Rannan Carpi, I don't know, these things before, there is an opportunity that maybe you could automate some of your crop farming. Like break all the crops with the Drum of the Wild and then lay them back down. Yeah. Okay, so this is kind of the base. Okay, this is the base setup. I need to go get some other pieces parts. So once you get that set up, we've got to do, we got to make a couple things here. So one thing we're going to make while we're down here, and we need more than just this. Where did I put my living wood? I need to make another open crate. So I have these guys. I think just one is going to be enough. That should be close. Yeah, that should be perfect, actually. And we're going to need to make a hopper. So let's get one of these. We're also going to make... we need some sticks. No, not that many. Two sticks. And we'll go like this. Oops, like that. And make these guys. Okay, let's get our open crate made. So living wood into living wood planks. And then we draw the like pants pattern right there. We get that. And then... we get some of these, and then we take two of these, we go like this, and we go like that, and then like that hopper. Okay, perfect. And we have these, and then we're also going to need a pressure plate. Do we have some like just planks here? Yeah. Okay. Let's go like this and make a pressure plate. Done. Okay. Now, we could go up here. Oh, and we're also going to need... well, actually, that's all we need, I think, for now. Yeah, we need a little bit of redstone. Let's grab a couple pieces. So we need to make, like, an item delivery system, right? That's what we need. So just like we've made with all the coal and everything else setups that we've got. And we're going to build it right over here. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal. We're going to put our pressure plate right here. Okay? We're going to put open crate on top of that, like so. Okay? Then we're going to come right there. And we're going to go like this, and redstone torch. Yeah. And then redstone torch. And then hopper. And then redstone torch. Okay. Yeah. All right, and then if I throw one of these guys in there, the Rannan Carpus picks it up and plants it. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to do. Now, the only thing that I don't like here, and I don't want to get lost on this too much, is I don't like the fact that it drops 2 items. That makes me kind of grumpy that it does that. That's okay. The Rannan Carpus should still pick it up. Yeah. And now there's one there. So we might lose a sapling every once in a while, but it's just a sapling. Grab these out of here and take that. Okay, so now we've got our item dropping system. What I'll probably do is put in a little hopper hawk timer deal, right? Like we've got over there, where it'll pick up the extra ones. There are some other ways. Some of you guys were like, hey, I just use redstone. We could... yeah, could play with that. Okay, so we have to build the rest of this farm now because we got more stuff. We obviously have more stuff in our chest over there. So let me just make sure I understand exactly what the next steps are in the tutorial, and I'll bring you right back. I'll see you in just a second. Alrighty, my friends, we are back. Man, I had to step away again. I don't know what it is. Sometimes my dog just... whatever. Anyway, so I had to step away again, and... yeah. I pillared up. I was way up there, pillared up on top of that, and when I came back, it was nighttime, and I had zombies all around, so I had to fight through all that. I got a little bit of sugar from a witch. I got some boots, I got some zombie flesh, and some bones. All right, let's get back to building this thing, though. So the next thing we need to do is we need to go up 7 blocks above this piece of dirt right here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on the 7th block, we're going to stick our mana pool, okay? Now, the reason that we're putting that mana pool up there is when we send mana, right? We send mana from the pulse mana spreader. If there's nothing to break, it can collect it, right? And it may collect it anyway. I'm not 100% sure. So the other thing we want to do is I got my floating hopper hawk out of my deal here. I'm going to go over here and put this down like this. We're going to put down, let's get the rest of this stuff out of this chest because we're going to use it. We don't have much left in there. Okay, let's bring this chest down here. And we're going to put this guy right beside the hopper hawk, like so. Yes, and we're gonna put the item frame on this guy, and then we're gonna put a piece of birch wood in there as our filter. Because remember, we're using birch sapling. So this, we've already learned how the hopper hawk works, and it will pick up whatever is in its filter next to this chest. Okay. So it's only going to pick up birch wood. So this is where all of our birch wood will go from our tree farm. Okay? So that's the next setup. So we're actually in pretty good shape here. We have to do one more thing, and we may have to dip into the nether real quick. We will put 10 soul sand right there. And now let's run out. Actually, let's go looking around in our chest to see if we have. We really need 15 pieces. And there's a way that we can speed this up. We're really waiting for time to happen. So there's 3 pieces. That's probably would be enough. But we might as well... Oh, are my guys gone? Yeah, all these guys are gone. Understandable. Okay. We've been playing for a while here, messing around with stuff. Let's jump into the nether real quick and grab ourselves a couple more pieces of soul sand. Just so we can make that timer, at least at the start, 15 minutes long. So we need just 2 more pieces of soul sand is really all we need. Hopefully there's some around close. Yeah, this is our horrible nether setup, isn't it? I have a feeling... I don't know if we went through soul sand or not. I can't remember. I hear you, Gast. Just going to find a little bit of soul sand, and hopefully there's some relatively quick. This is the way back out to the fortress, by the way, if you don't remember. I don't see any. Are you kidding me? I just need a piece of soul sand. Dang it. All right, let me get some soul sand. I'll be back with you in just a second. Alrighty, my friends, we are back. So I got myself a bunch of soul sand. I have 15 pieces in here now. If we get our wand into the forest, remember, right, you can mouse over and it'll tell you 15 minutes here. I also took a second while I was off camera and set this guy up as well. So this is the little system that allows us to pick up whatever's down here, because for whatever reason, things go a little crazy. Just kind of the way it works. Yeah. Hopefully that will work the way that I want it to. Yeah, okay. All right, so there's one more thing that we have to do. If you remember, we have our munch do that we still have to deal with. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go out 1, 2, right here, in this block right here, right in front of our hopper hawk that we put down. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then up here, we're going to put this guy. And that's it. So now this guy, if we get our wand out, right, we'll notice that he's connected to this pulse mana spreader down here. Now, that's like the range. Yeah? Yeah, that shouldn't matter. Okay, so that's the range. This is like the furthest this thing can be away and still do what it needs to do. So now, if I take a birch sapling, when I came back from being AFK, I had these bones here. So let me show you how this thing works. Come on, are you gonna grow, please? No, you're not gonna grow. Dang it. Dang thing. I guess that block in the way makes it a little bit kind of tough. So we may have to wait. But, so the reason we have this munch dew, now, I don't know if we've even talked about what a munch dew does. It actually eats leaves. It eats leaves and uses the leaves to generate mana. But there's like a cooldown. So you just can't feed this thing leaves like 24 hours a day and have like 87 mana pools full of mana. So what'll happen when this thing grows, right? It grows up. Anything that's sort of in range of this munch dew will get eaten, right? Same level. Everything else will be allowed to despawn and hopefully produce a sapling, even if we're in like quick delay mode or quick, whatever that's called. Quick, this thing's about ready to flip over and break that sapling. It might be a few minutes. I really wish it would grow. I don't think I have any more bone meal on me. I would like to be able to actually demonstrate how this thing works. How about we eat something? By the way, I had to run like all over the nether to find that little bit of soul sand, and I just found it like sticking up on the side of the wall. It wasn't even like one of those big areas of that stuff like sometimes you get. Oh, we do have some bones. Perfect. Let us take these and go like this, and let's see if we can't get this tree to grow. That would be amazing if we could get it to grow, and then we could actually see it happen. Okay, how much time? I don't know. It is not going to want to grow with that block right there, is it? That's irritating. I mean, it will grow on its own, though. We know for a fact that it will. This thing's going to cycle over in just a second, but that's okay. The other thing we can do now is we can take these saplings and put them in this guy. So he's going to drop some out, but that's okay. I sort of want to be here when this thing turns over. Let's go see if we can sleep through the night real quick. And then we'll take a quick run through how the thing works, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, there we go. Okay. I don't really know how much time is left. So we'll see. So if this thing doesn't grow in 15 minutes, right? So if it doesn't grow, then it'll just retract this block, and it's going to shear off this sapling, which should get picked up. Should. I really wish it would grow, though. Man, we burned lots of bone meal on that thing. That makes me crazy that it didn't grow. Now, there are some passive ways that we can get this thing to grow a little bit faster. And we're going to look at those tomorrow. It's a different type of flower that we can make. But I just sort of want to watch this thing. Oh, this cycled over there. Picked up those guys. More dropped out. By the way, as we're waiting right here, this little deal right here is just kind of like a lock, is all it is. Right? So the signal, when this thing flips over, it's going to come up here, and there's going to be a delay that's going to happen in here. A little bit of a delay. And essentially, it's going to be enough time to drag this, to turn this thing off and hold it off for just a second or two. So this thing pulls back, the bore lens goes brown, shoots up, right, does its deal, and then it gets put back in just enough time. So the idea is we want it to retract, get out of the way, and then allow the thing to shoot up, and then we will put it back, right? So this thing should be ready. I mean, it looks like it's ready at any second. That thing's working like a dream, making sure we're not wasting saplings. Okay, yeah, it's all good. I wish I could make that thing grow. What a shame. Maybe at nighttime I'll have to see if I can't get some more bones. I don't know how long we're at in this episode. It's got to be almost done. I feel like we're just kind of wasting time. I mean, we could test it. Okay, we could test it. Put these guys in here. Perfect. Okay, so as soon as this thing flips over, the magic will happen. Actually, it won't happen, will it? Because we don't have any mana in this thing. So there, you see how that just worked, right? It moves that out of the way, and enough time for the mana thing to shoot through. The problem that we have is we really need a tree to grow here. Okay. So I tell you what, let me just go sort of hanging around here. As soon as it gets to be nighttime, I'll see if I can't go fight a bunch of skeletons and get a bunch of bones and some stuff like that. And we'll see if this thing works. But in the meantime, we'll just wait and see. I'll be back with you in just a second. Alrighty, my friends, we are back. So I had to make a slight modification to this crazy tree farm that we've got here. So instead of using birch saplings, I am using oak saplings. So I had to go scrounge up a couple. It wasn't too bad. I just had to chop down some of those trees over there in the swamp. Not the end of the world. I went into, while I was waiting, I waited a long time, and I went into my, like a creative world, and I set up a piece of coarse dirt and a block like that, and then went into survival mode and tried to grow birch. And literally, I spammed like 2 stacks of bone meal at this tree, at a birch tree, and it would not grow. So maybe it will not grow with a block right there. But this thing, an apple tree, does grow. So I tested it out, and I just had to modify our deal here a little bit. So let's go and get 15 of these. So without a doubt, this works. So there's a couple things happening here, and what I did is I found, once I put an oak sapling there, I got a couple skeletons. I killed a couple of those, got a little bit of bone meal. I'm out, though, at the moment, so unfortunately I don't have any. But this thing works like a dream. So every so often, every few minutes or so, this thing will grow, right? So this guy will grow, and this thing retracts just like it's supposed to. So this is definitely a workable setup. We can see that we actually have a little bit of wood capturing in here. So in next episode, we're going to figure out ways to actually make this thing go faster. But I will say, here, let me show you real quick while we're here just messing around. Let's go up here. And let's use cobble. Yeah, we're even collecting a little bit of mana in there. So we're not even wasting mana. So we might be able to use that for something else kind of cool down the road as our tree farm works. So not only is this tree farm working and our munch dew's taking care of business, but these little pulse mana shots that go up through there are generating a little bit extra mana. So let's just go over this farm one more time. I feel like we've done it a couple times here, but we might as well take care of it. So over here, same dropping system that we have over there with charcoal. We're dropping oak saplings onto the pressure plate. After every minute, this thing will cycle through, and if they haven't been planted by the Rhinocarpus, you can see that just happened, right? More will drop out, and this thing will pick them up as it needs to. So the worst that could possibly happen is these timers go off at the exact same time, and there's not a sapling there. But there will be very shortly after. It's literally a second or two, okay? So if there's not a sapling here in this spot, right, the Rhinocarpus will pick it up, and it will plant it, okay? And then every 15 minutes, regardless if a tree has grown or not, we cycle the hourglass. It fires off this redstone, which retracts the coarse dirt block, and then the pulse mana spreader goes and breaks all the blocks, depositing any extra mana that it might have along in that blast into this mana pool. And then over here, I just in case we get apples, I've put an extra item frame on there, and now this hopper hawk will pick up oak wood or any apples that might drop on the ground. So I don't have any oak wood to demonstrate, but that's how that works. So now all we have to do, it's kind of like one of those tree farms. It's just going to work while we're out messing around. No maintenance, no nothing. Eventually, though, this guy right here is going to get filled with saplings. I'm going to put these extra ones in there because we usually get, or I guess the expectation is that we would get a couple saplings each time. So I wish I could show you that this is working. What I'm going to do as far as between the episodes is I'm going to go AFK for like an hour or so, and I'm going to come back, and then tomorrow, and then I'm going to log out, and then tomorrow we will be able to see just how effective this crazy tree farm has been, if it's been effective at all. I'm pretty sure it will be, but we will check it out together. So if I go like this, and a couple more birch pieces, then I can go in here and make myself a little hidey hole, and I'll do that between the episodes. So there we go. Automated tree farm. Reba, finally, episode 11. It's done. It works great, although a little slow. But we're going to come back in tomorrow's episode, and we're going to talk about ways to speed up this tree farm and see if we can't make that tree grow a little bit faster. So until then, please remember to be cool. Don't be a fool. And from my one man, one mod series, where we're trying to learn everything that we can about Botania, I guess we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.